Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hey. Didn't even hear you. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, ladies.
Happy Saturday to Sheba and Robbie Rob.
And what song was that you guys were just playing? Just so the people know. What song was that you guys were just playing?
Was just some royalty-free music.
Okay. I thought it was one of our... What site are you guys using for the royalty-free music?
So we have been going to YouTube.
YouTube has type in royalty-free hip-hop.
Yeah.
Background music on YouTube.
And it just gives.
It gives.
Okay, we're gonna have to use that too. Well, happy Saturday. We got a show, so I gotta just kind of jump right into it because it's gonna be something. Happy Saturday to everybody who is joining us and watching us live, and to those of you who will be listening to us on the radio. As usual, we're going to introduce ourselves in alphabetical order.
Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and I am a part of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. We talk about all the foolishness on the internet, and we come to you by, just by our love for sharing with you all. Our show is also played over Radio Regent, syndicated by iHeartRadio. So thank you to Radio Regent for giving us this platform, allowing us to spread the word. And I'm going to pass it on to my good sister friend over here, Miss Telly.
Hi, y'all. Like she was said, guys, oh, wow. We were in our planning call, but over time, because there was just so much foolishness going on. The internet, this is real life. IRL. Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Telly. Get yourselves ready, buckle up, and buckle down. Whoo, it's going to be a show. I don't know what else to say. She's my girl. Tell who you is, child.
Listen, if people could really see my face on the radio, they would understand. Yes, the planning call definitely went 35 minutes over because I think we were just in so much shock that some of this stuff is reality. And so this week's show is called Dear Ladies because we really need to have a conversation. And we do every week with the ladies about some of the decisions and the father of these ladies, about what is happening in some of these homes because I just don't understand. So I am Toshiba. I'm the final female member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. But before we get into the show, I'm going to introduce our male correspondent, my partner in crime. Who you is this week?
Robbie Rob. We're going to stick with that.
Okay, so not Robbie 3X, Robbie Rob.
Yes.
Okay.
Robbie.
Okay, Robbie 3 times. My bad. It was 3 times. I understand. Yes.
All right.
The economics major. He corrected me. Robbie, not Robbie 3X, Robbie 3 times. Okay. So, help my life. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into this. Again, we've got 4 stories that we need to discuss, and I'm just going to go through them quickly because I got articles and we got to just get into it. So there are 4 stories. 1, Dr. Dre was recently served part of his divorce papers at his grandmother's funeral. Depending on the source, it was either by the cemetery or while he was in the parking lot. Either way, he was burying his grandmother. The number 2 story, a young lady shot her male roommate because when she asked him to kiss her in front of his girlfriend, she refused, so she took his gun and shot him in the chest. Number 3, we've got Fallon Pina or Fallon Gabadaya, who was married to Simon Gabadaya just recently, who this year got divorced, is pregnant, and engaged to her 4th baby daddy. And we have number 4, NBA young boy and Yaya Mayweather NBA recently had his 8th kid. He turned 22 on Wednesday. He's on baby number 8, but baby mama number 7, which was, I think she was 7 or she number 6.
She's
6 or
seven.
7, girl.
I think she's 7.
Yaya Mayweather, who beat up one of his other baby mamas and basically may be facing 20 years in prison, even though he is not together because baby mama number 8 is the new girlfriend. Okay. I don't even know where to start. Ladies, I don't know. Which one should we start on? I don't.
Let's go in order of how you said it. Let's start with the first one you mentioned. We'll do that.
Let's go with Doc. Let's
start
with
there.
Dr. Dre.
So I'm gonna read the article. Let me just
Yes,
get myself
please
together.
do.
I'm going to say this. I understand anger.
Mm-hmm.
I understand hurt. I understand pain. But there's also another emotion, and it's called empathy. And even in the midst of pain and sorrow and grief and anger, there's a certain level of empathy I think one should have for a fellow human being, especially when they're going through grief. And I know Rob has an opinion about Dr. Dre. I will preface this in saying, I may not agree with the decisions that Dr. Dre may or may not have allegedly made in his marriage, in his relationship, in his previous relationships, because, you know, rumors about Dr. Dre goes back decades of things that he's done to women. However, I think when someone is going through grief, I'm not sure that certain action should be taken. So we are going to start with, this is on TMZ because, you know, TMZ just got it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre served with divorce docs at cemetery as grandmother laid to rest. Dr. Dre's divorce has been extremely contentious, and something happened Monday, which is this past Monday, that punctuates the bitterness. A process server for his ex-wife attempted to serve him with legal docs at the cemetery where he buried his grandmother. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Dre was at a Los Angeles cemetery Monday to put the woman who helped raise him in her final resting place. There's a dispute over where exactly Dre was confronted with the process server. Sources connected to Dre tell TMZ a process server came up to him at the burial site as Dre was standing by his grandmother's casket and tried serving him. Sources connected to Nicole Young tell TMZ Dre was served in the cemetery's parking lot after the burial. Either way, we're told Dre recoiled in anger and wouldn't take the documents. Our Dre sources claim the process server dropped the documents by the gravesite. Our Nicole sources say they were dropped in the parking lot. The paper involved payment of Nicole's attorney's fees. There's a dispute over how much he was supposed to pay. The music mogul paid $325,433. The judge signed an order that he owed a total of $1,550,000. Dre believes that the amount is in error and he paid the full fee. Nicole says the order is clear. Dre owes a balance of $1,224,567. The legal docs that were served included the judge's final order of $1,550,000. Either way, this divorce is about as acrimonious as it gets. And then there was an update to the story. We've spoken to several employees at the Inglewood Park Cemetery who all tell us the same thing. Dre was never in the parking lot. He pulled up on the street within the cemetery near his grandmother's grave site.
Come on, man. I mean, okay, like you were saying before, Shiva, I know everyone has their opinion about Dre. Totally understand. But at the same time, going to someone's funeral and giving them, like, serving them divorce, any kind of, like, legal thing at the funeral next to, like, his grandmother going into the ground 6 feet under, and you thought this was a good idea to serve the man papers? Like, I get it, you're scorned. I understand, but you gotta have, come on, man, I can't do that. I don't care who it is, I'm not doing that. No. I'm not doing that. I can't. Even if I started, I would stop. Personally, okay. I can't do that. That's just low. That's low to me.
I'm gonna tap in for a sec here, and
that's low.
So here's my thing. My thing is this. First of all, I am an empathetic person, so no one would ever expect this of me. I would never serve papers to anybody on the day where they're burying a family member. That's me. Now, yes, I agree. Dre, there is a lot going on around him where we question a lot of his behavior,
Yes.
how he even treated his wife currently that, you know, he's going through this divorce with. However, he is a very public figure. You could find out where he is every day simply by sitting on Twitter long enough. Like, you don't need to wait for the funeral. They could have served him the day before. They could have served him the day after. They could have served him 2 weeks after, 2 weeks before. Whatever it is, you can find him. He's not hiding anywhere. So I'm trying to understand why they chose that specific day and time to serve him. Sounds very vindictive to me. Second, his wife, is she still that mad? Like, she's that mad
yes.
still? They've been going through this divorce thing for about a year and more. So she's still so mad that she's like, now, again, from what I've heard, she didn't know that they were going to serve him at that time on that day. Which
Girl,
is
she
like,
So she said.
not sure if I'm going to believe that fully.
No.
But, you know, she's so mad that she was okay with that happening. Because even if it happened and she didn't know and she learned after the fact, I would be the first one online on my Twitter or doing an Instagram live saying, everyone, I heard about what happened with Dre, and I just want you all to know I did not know about this. I don't condone this sort of behavior, and I actually talked to my lawyer. Yeah, like, come out and cover your butty, you know, cover your ass at that point.
You think she would have said that?
Yeah, so that's me.
I don't know.
Rob's got a completely different opinion.
Oh, I mean, one, I can't feel sorry for Dre, and this is the biggest reason why. Right or wrong? Could he not be divorced already?
True.
He could have been signed that paper and said, good riddance.
Legally, you're single.
True.
He could have been signed off on whatever it takes to get rid of this woman, and she would be gone. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
She was able to serve him because there was still paperwork going back and forth and all this other stuff. That's that part. Was it wrong? Was it disrespectful to the family? Absolutely. All of that. You know what I mean? But I have a hard time feeling sorry for Dre. Who I do feel sorry for is the poor schmuck whose job it is the process server who's getting sent up at funerals to deliver paperwork like this to people. Like, he should get hazard pay. That's dangerous. Like, I'm sure he done got swung on and teed off on and all kind of stuff in that line of work. That sounds like a dangerous profession, process serving, because you will run up on someone anywhere, obviously, and be like, here go the pay. You seen, like, and again, what was his reaction? He was Dre a control freak. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he doesn't like that there's things that he's got to do. Like he said, he believes he only owed $300,000. Well, that's why Dre is paid to make music and not think, because the paperwork says he owes $1.5 million. If he would have paid what he was supposed to, it wouldn't have been no papers to sign at the funeral. So again, she's wrong. She's petty champ, all of that.
Yeah.
But Dre is, he's still fighting her.
He
You can't say, you know what I'm saying, that he's not extending this process.
It's true.
Right.
I have my hand up because we're recording this and I just want to get this on record. When we get married, should we, knock on wood, get divorced, will you give me 60% if I ask for it? Just to get rid of me? No, I just want to. Well, that's the reason they're not divorced. She's asking for 60% of his. She's asking for 60%. So I just want to know, because you feel like he should just sign and go away. In front of the live audience of the people on the radio, we're building a brand together.
Did he walk away from Suge?
I just wanted,
did he or did he not walk away from Suge in aftermath?
I'm asking you an honest question.
I mean, Death Row.
Will you give me 60%?
This is not about me.
Will you give me 60%?
It's not about me. It's about his situation. Now, since we want to bring up alternatives, did Dre walk away from Suge Knight and Death Row Records with nothing?
Yes, but that was like 3 decades ago. That was like 3 decades ago.
So you walked away from a dude with nothing, but you're swelling up on your ex-wife.
3 decades ago.
Shit. That's what I'm saying.
No, listen, as a woman, I get what she's done.
Because y'all speaking as a woman. Let me speak as a man. That's why y'all got me on the show.
I still want to know if you'll give me 60%.
Fair.
I just want the people to hear you say, You will give
That's
me
hearsay. Let me see
60%.
some documents saying she demanded 60% of his money. Like
That's what she's
that's
demanding.
speculative as hell. Like
It's
what
not.
judges? Even in California, it's 50-50. I never heard of 60-40 the other way.
That's
like,
why they're not legally divorced
no,
yet. That's my point.
No,
60%.
no.
Ladies,
That's not the reason.
60% is
Still...
outrageous for you to ask your
Okay,
husband
I
to
agree.
give.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
let's
that's
make it
And
all
here's
in
the
the whole
thing.
and no drink.
Yeah, here's the thing with me, and I know divorce looks different for everybody, as some of our listeners and viewers are weighing in.
Mhm.
You know, the process, first of all,
do
the server had a process. They had to get the job done. They have no ties to empathy. So, fair.
Right.
However, you know, I'm looking at it as me, you know, we are all creators here. We're creating brands. We are working hard. We have the hope and faith that we will be making more than, say, you know, the average person one day, right? So based upon that and knowing the work that goes into creating content, my husband is not getting 60% of my money. Like, he's not gonna come in and get 60% if he's leaving me and let's say he was the one that did wrong. Let's say he stepped out of the marriage, right? And he wants to get 60%, even though he does. I would be like, dude, listen, if we sit down and work out, we can sit down and chat and come to a conclusion where it works out 50-50. You can get this house, this car, whatever. But I'm just not going to go down without a fight. No. Because I know how hard I worked. So I kind of see where Dre is coming up. I'm not a big fan for everything that's going on with him. I'm the first to admit it. However, looking at it as someone who knows what it is to create something and how much it takes to get stuff, I sympathize in that way where it's like, wait, 60%.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
can we start at 50?
She wasn't there.
Can we start at 35?
He was there when he was there.
Okay, do you want me to pull up the article? It's in articles. The city I can find the TMZ article. I can find the article saying she wants 60%.
So poor Dre.
It's not about poor Dre. None of us are saying. Let's be clear. There is no sympathy or empathy for what they're going through. Divorces are rough, but I think there was a certain level of decorum that one, and if you want to call it empathy, you want to call it whatever, I think there's a certain level of decorum. I agree with you. The process server was doing their job, and they were told this date and time, he will be here, go there. But I think as a woman who carried his children, who once loved him, who has his last name, I think you needed to, even if you didn't respect Dre, respect the dead grandmother, who is the great-grandmother of your children. That is my final say on that, because we're going to move on, because this one was a hot topic, and he still won't agree to give me 60%. And as a creator, I agree.
The show's an hour long. Robbie Rock could change his mind.
And Percia, I'm going to add, I will say, as the person who creates every bit of content that goes on the two shows that we have, I wouldn't give up 60% because after I finish this show, I work until about 10, 11 o'clock at night in order to break the show down, to create content, and do all of that. So if I'm a Dre, I'm not giving up that because it's hours. While he gets to go out, while he gets to go out, while you get to go out, while you get to go out and have fun and be out for hours on end today, I'm in here breaking down content. I'm just saying, so no 60%. Moving on. So Dre, we wish them the best of luck. We're all about Black love. We pray for them that they can get over this, but clearly.
They're no, y'all, no, I am not praying for his wife. I am not praying for his wife. They got money. I'm praying for
no one. Somewhere,
it happens for the higher good. That's all I'm giving them.
No prayers.
Thank you.
No.
For the betterment of Black love, whatever the case may be. Speaking of love, so rejection is hard, right? Like, I don't think anybody wants to get rejected.
No. Just for some pretense, because I don't understand this. Was he like messing with this girl before?
We're about to read the article, so not that we are aware of. Not that we're aware of.
Like,
we're aware of.
Yeah, I just said it. I guess. That's
Okay. Right? So rejection is hard. Nobody wants to be rejected, especially by someone you might find attractive, like
Right.
whatever.
And let's
But
also say too, alcohol was involved in this situation as
A
well.
lot.
So a lot of truth G's.
so, however, if you were rejected, is your automatic reaction to hurt the person who rejected you?
I think in this world, that's a lot of people's natural instinct. Like, look how content. Look, we just spent how much time on the story about how she's trying to hurt him, and I just think that he's doing a lot of stuff to her too that's not really being.
Okay, we're past that
Yeah.
Dre story. I don't care anymore.
Right.
But again,
this
at the
seems
end
like
of
there's
the
a
day,
layer
It
to
just keeps coming in.
I'm
But
not
you know what?
sure.
Yeah, if everyone notices, all the stories are connected.
They are connected.
Because we are talking about how women are reacting to negative situations.
right. And it's
So
crazy.
it does tie in, you know, with this story where a young woman, you know, with 3 children asked her roommate to kiss her
Yeah,
in front of
the
his
thing
girlfriend.
Percy is telling me. Let me just go ahead because
Just
Rob
yeah.
was
Yeah.
interrupting me,
Sorry,
and I'm ready to
this
go
story is
and read.
confusing to me,
I'm
though.
gonna read the story, and I'm gonna show the picture. The poor young lady's now. I won't call her poor young lady, but she got a whole mugshot now. And this is the. Let me turn it around here for everyone to see. Can you ladies see that?
Yes,
Yes.
girl.
So this is the young lady, and the article says, woman shoots roommate dead for refusing to kiss her in front of his girlfriend. When he kissed his girlfriend instead, the mom of three murdered him, prosecutors say. An Illinois man was shot dead in front of his girlfriend after refusing to kiss their roommate, police say. Claudia Resendez Flores, 28, had recently moved into the couple's home, Rolling Meadows, the Chicago Sun-Times reported. On Thursday, all 3 were hanging out at the home drinking when Resendez Flores, a mother of 3, asked 29-year-old James Jones to kiss her. He refused and turned to kiss his girlfriend instead, which according to prosecutors made her jealous. They said her demeanor changed and she demanded once again he kissed her, and once again he refused. It was at this point she grabbed Jones's gun, which was tucked between the couch cushions, and pointed at him, prosecutors allege. With her finger on the trigger, Jones watched as she disengaged the safety, so he pushed the gun down. This is when investigators say she raised her arms back up and fired a single shot into his chest, killing him. The victim's girlfriend called 911. First responders found the handgun still in the living room beside Jones's dead body. Resendez Flores was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Police say she confessed to the crime. A judge ordered she be held without bail before her first court appearance on Tuesday. According to her public defender, Resendez Flores is married but separated from her husband and is the sole caretaker of their 3 young children. He disputed the claim she had moved in with the couple, claiming she lived at her family home in Des Plaines.
Wow.
So
It sounds
first
like
of all,
it sounds like a movie. It
yeah,
does.
and that's
It
tragic.
sounds like a
I
movie.
feel
That's
really bad for
really
these
heartbreaking.
children because they're going to
That's
probably end up in
horrible.
foster care, and
That's
that's
horrible.
actually tragic.
That's
So
really
I
sad.
feel horrible for them.
And that was, for me, I think the key was the children.
Yeah.
Like, why was her children not on her mind when she
Yeah.
was so wrapped up
Thank
in
you.
this damn dude?
Thank you.
Like, who obviously don't want you. But like I said, I don't think that's an uncommon theme in today's world. I think women
Yeah.
are a lot more aggressive these days, and unlike men who have been dealing with rejection our whole
That's true.
lives, y'all do not take it well, y'all, because again, it's supposed to be caught by everyone that you throw it at.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't catching.
These days,
Yeah.
especially, a smart man will let that thing fly right on by. Like,
That's
and there's no firmer, like, I think, I just feel really bad for the guy because he's dead now. And I think how they described that situation of he pushed the gun down, I don't think he took her serious. Like,
I don't think so either.
I don't think
I don't
I
think
think
so.
she was gonna.
and
No,
again,
I didn't. No.
and that's why people be like harsh, and like you harsh, you mean, and all that. But I feel like if anybody would have been dead in that situation, it would have been her. Like,
Yeah.
nah, he had an opportunity, like, obviously, and he just didn't. And
Because he was probably
seems
like, you're joking.
you're joking, and they're
exactly.
drunk and all of
Put
that
your
stuff.
phone
And,
down.
but once
Yeah,
he
you're
grabbed
drunk.
that gun,
She was pulling the trigger.
all bets are off. Drinks or no.
I also
Here-
want to bring up too, listen, they were doing her a good service. She was probably, you know, having problems finding a place to live. And they were like, come stay with us, which I think, you know, they were being good Samaritans, which makes it even worse because it's like, we want to take in our friend and her kids because they have nowhere to stay. They take her in and then this tragic thing happens.
And listen, I'm going to preface it. Even if him and her had a little something when the girlfriend was out of the house, that again is no reason for her to not consider in that moment, I have 3 kids for which I am responsible, and they're going to be left without a mother if I do. Whether she assaulted him, whether what happened, jail time was definitely on the table the moment she decided to pick, because she had to go in the cushions of the couch. She had to think this through. It wasn't right there, but she just picked it up. She had to go through, grab it, do all of these things. And I'm just concerned that her children were not at the forefront of her mind. And if you're going to take the responsibility of birthing 3 children, that should be, a man should be the least of your concern, especially a man who has a woman and has rejected you. He doesn't want you. Lady, when a man doesn't want you, that's where it should end.
But see, this is where the chasing, you know, and we talk about it on here, right? You're chasing down, first of all, you're chasing down men that are unavailable. Like, he is not available. He is living with his girlfriend. If he really, even if they had something going on, he decided to kiss his girlfriend at the time because that's who he's with, you know, not you. So the idea that you're chasing, first of all, is something, dear ladies, stop the chasing. This is not, you know, now some will disagree with me and that's fine. But I find, and I'm going to say this, looking at the data of my friends in my life, those that chase end up in negative situations. So
there is a difference between a man who is physically available to you and emotionally available to you. So again, that man, they don't say in the story, but in her mind, she might have thought he was physically available to her, but he was not emotionally available to her. And that's 2 different things. A man will sling his thing any way it can be allowed to. A lot of them. I agree with Rob. These days, I think men are being more discerning, but a lot of men will just sling it everywhere. But a man giving you the pee doesn't mean that he wants to give you him. That man had a whole woman that he was more concerned about in that moment. And she should have been more concerned about them babies who now are going to have to see their mother, if they see their mother, are through bars.
Yeah, I think that's what bugs me the most. The fact that she killed this man, but even more so that, you know, the last thing on her mind were her 3 kids.
4 people died, or 5 people died that day.
She killed 5 people.
She basically killed 5 people.
She killed the girl. Herself.
I guess you could say all of them died because she, you know, that girlfriend is traumatized. Like, imagine
the whole situation.
You watch your friend kill your boyfriend,
and now these children that used to depend on their mom, their mom is gone. So now they're going to be in, I don't know, orphanage or living with a family member that's mashed up. Who knows? It's just a really, really disgusting and sad situation. This is horrible.
Like what really bugs me about the situation is like, like in this current state of affairs out here, like I said, I do think that on average, the average male is more discerning, is more paying attention to how he's moving, is more like pulling emotional strings, because the average dude out here got a crazy situation or 2 in his background. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a different breed of females out here these days. Like you said, she's got 3 kids, but it doesn't sound like she was very maternal, because she grabbing pistols, shooting niggas for not kissing them. Like, that's just very aggressive, like bank robber type of.
It's very masculine energy.
Like, like gang, like energy. You know what I'm saying behind that? and then it's just like, there's female stalking men out here these days, which seems
Exactly.
psychotic.
Well, Rob wasn't on the show months ago. Remember, ladies, when we did the show, the crazy news, and there was the lady who got text for the booty call.
Yes.
So a few months ago, while I was still back home, back in Toronto, we did this story about a woman who texted a man for a booty call. She got in an Uber. By the time she got there, he fell asleep. So she was banging on the door, texting him, no answer.
No.
She got back and went to the gas station, got a can of gas, and burned that man's house down with him in it. Luckily, he smelled the smoke and escaped and came out. But her reasoning was he fell asleep, and she made her go all the way over there for the booty call. That was her reason.
Yo,
so now this woman is in prison.
Where she belongs.
Over,
where she belongs.
For over the
Where
pee.
she belongs.
Imagine that conversation with her cellmate. Girl, why you in here? Well, the man, my booty call fell asleep and I went all the way over there, so I decided to bun down in my house. I'd be like, remove her from myself.
Yo,
remove her from myself.
Energy, yo, is wild. So, like, ladies, you can't take the D. You just can't. There's laws and rules about that. Like, that's not good. And why would you want to?
That part.
Thank you.
And we're not going to reset the room with that. He just gave great advice. Garcia, reset the room because we got two other crazy stories we got to talk about.
Girl, thank you so much for listening and watching us. We are Not Your Typical Girl Talk, where we give you the Black perspective.
The only perspective.
The only perspective you really need to know. And we want to thank Radio Region, syndicated through iHeartRadio, for this opportunity to share all of this foolishness on the internet with all of you. We hope that we make you think, but we also hope that you are laughing because we are all about that too. Girl. So, back to the show.
So, I don't know how much your parents talked to you about dating, but I remember back in the day, there would be conversations with young ladies that you need to take a break after a breakup.
Yep.
I think that's normal, right?
That's
you
normal.
break up with someone, you take a break, you do some healing because every breakup is hard. Yes. And I think for a lot of women, it's harder for women than maybe men because there are men who can break up and in a matter of months meet another woman and totally forget about the last woman because he just wasn't as emotionally attached to that woman because they're designed to move forward, right? Like, again, they're the predators, we're the prey.
Right.
Well, a story recently had hit the news and there was a lot of, oh my God, poor girl. And that was Fallon Gobadiah. If you are a fan of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you're aware of Portia Williams. On the last season, Fallon had come on as her friend and we had met Fallon and her husband, Simon. Well, then the news broke this, I think it was April, May, that Simon and Fallon were getting a divorce. And he had actually gotten with Portia and was now engaged to Portia. There was claims that there was an affair. He had already, left. I think the timeline was he had filed for divorce, I think in end of 2019 or beginning of 2020. Then they decided that they were going to try again in February. Then finally in April, it was donezo. Like they both came out, made their statements. Again, this is April. And then May, we find out that him and Portia are engaged. Again, I'm keep repeating April.
Yes.
So in April, this comes out. Fallon does a whole YouTube special, and there's a lot of thing for her. Well, now Fallon is not only engaged again in October, she's also expecting her fourth child with the fourth man.
She has a big belly too.
Yeah.
That belly is pretty big.
She is
pregnant.
I don't understand that. Fellas, like, we were just talking about that. Like, I don't understand being, like, in my opinion, I give you two. Like, you have kids with a person and it may not work out and you might move on. You have kids with another person and that may not work out and you move on. But at that point, how are you still family building?
It's a great question.
Well, she's family and family and family building. I am going to
No,
read
male or female.
these articles.
No, I agree.
Like, how I already have children with 2 different women. How am I looking for a third
And
or
that
a fourth?
that is
Or
a
a
good point.
fifth.
That's a good point. Because us getting together, even though I'm older and my eggs would probably need Botox to conceive, I made it very, very clear I am not interested in having any babies with you at all. Love you, you're great, but you already got a whole situation with 2 other women. I'm not adding my situation, and I'm not trying to be baby mama number 3 with child number 5. I don't care if I'm the woman you marry. I don't care if I am now the one for you. Your track record has shown that you got 2 other women and 4 kids out there. Nothing is permanent these days except the baby. The babies are permanent.
Babies are permanent. They're here
I'm
to
glad she
stay.
said it. I'm so
They're
glad
here
she
to
said it. Because I think from a male perspective, especially on the woman's side of things, because what they say, daddy's maybe, mama's baby, like, okay, and what more can you do for a man besides have his kid? Seriously.
Not much more.
Not much.
Not
So
much more,
you got
no.
baby daddy 1, and it didn't work out. You don't want to be with him. You got baby daddy number 2, didn't work out. You don't want to be with him. But you're the one.
No, she had baby daddy
Well,
number
I know.
3.
Then she got baby daddy number
Then
3.
she had
and
a
then it worked out.
marriage.
Right.
Then she
But
had a whole
And now
marriage.
she's
Whole
got
marriage.
had a whole
like,
marriage.
how are you, like, what's the pitch?
Okay, well, we
I
gonna
wish I
hear
did.
what the pitch is because
Yeah, I'll
Jalen
let
is quite
Sheba
happy.
read and then I'll
Oh,
give
yeah.
my opinion because, yeah.
So Fallon Pina, I'm sorry, Fallon, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, is headed back down the aisle again. Pina, who began making headlines after her soon-to-be ex-husband Simon Gabadaya got engaged to Portia Williams, got engaged to Jalen Banks. Pina was gushing about her new engagement via social media. I said yes, Pina captioned a photo of her new wedding bling. I have no clue how Jalen Banks pulled this big surprise off, but I have not stopped bawling my eyes out. I love you, baby. Banks is the very man Gabadaya accused Pina of having an affair with while they were married. Pina adamantly denied that she was unfaithful during their marriage. Gabadaya even posted and deleted a video of Banks driving at his home to see Pina while he wasn't there. When I say I have receipts of a cheating wife, this is what it looks like when Jalen Duckworth, aka Jalen Banks, comes to my home on different days to sleep with my wife while I'm out of town in Miami. Okay, that was a whole lot.
That was a lot right there, girl.
I'm not even gonna go through the rest of it because it's a whole
What?
lot.
Right.
It was a whole. He said a whole lot. I'm not even gonna read the rest of it. But Gabadaya has also claimed Pina was pregnant then. Banks denied the allegations and said he was just Pina's best friend and assistant. In August of 2021, Pina and Banks revealed they were expecting their first child together. So again, divorce announcement in April. She announces her pregnancy in August. 4 months. Okay. Pina has already 3 sons while Banks is becoming a first-time father. I'm as ready as I can ever be, Banks said in Pina's pregnancy announcement. I've always wanted to have some type of father figure in my life, so I'm giving back to the boys what I've never received. I'm ready to start this new adventure with you.
I'm giving that 18 months.
Thank you. Okay.
He's a fool. He is a fool.
Thank you.
You went
God.
like,
Okay.
Oh,
yo, bro,
wow.
like seriously. Go ahead. No, I gotta rip,
No,
bro.
I want to hear everyone's perspective on this, but I'll say this. So the first thing is, the reason why it is good to take a break in between relationships is because you're carrying a certain energy when you leave a relationship.
That part.
And this energy is low frequency.
Yup.
Hella low
Hell yeah.
frequency. You
Oh,
are
hell yeah.
only going to attract out of spite, jealousy, vengefulness.
Mhm.
Like you are pulling from the lowest vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So
All of that.
All of them.
you are, first of all, Fallon, girl, you literally need to take about close to a year or more years maybe before you start looking at dating with the intent to marry, because you have 2 baby fathers, you married a multi-millionaire.
Three baby daddies.
Three, sorry, three. You married a multimillionaire. It didn't work. You went on YouTube crying about how tormented and traumatic it was. Then within a few months, you are like, I've never been happier in my life. I'm now providing my sons with a father figure. Like, what the actual? I wonder if, like, does she know Brittany Renner? Maybe the two of them knock up head and they're just like, yo, let's just, storm the streets together as one force and just try to get as much men as we can. I agree, though. Like, if you're the way how she was in this marriage with this millionaire man, and the way how they broke up, she was making everyone feel that Portia was the reason. But now we know that she was
saying, everyone feels sorry for me. I'm the victim. But then you learn she's hella pregnant, meaning that she was clearly sleeping with this man well into her marriage with the other man. And now you want to come and say, everyone rejoice with me. I'm not only pregnant, but I'm also now engaged to my assistant / boyfriend / best friend / caregiver / this / that / cousin. Like, come on, Fallon. She's a young, beautiful girl. I wish that she took the time to just, chill, relax, take a minute. How old is Fallon? I forget.
31.
33 years old or something.
Something, yeah, somewhere in that. Yes, I think, and I think her oldest son is, I think the kids are like 14, 13, a little
y'all,
no.
8 or something, and now she's
gotta chill.
This is where all them chicks they be calling in to Kevin Samuels should hate her. Let somebody else have a baby daddy. She done took 4 dudes off of the shelf. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dead ass. Like, she got 4 baby daddies, and this chick's out here talking about ain't no
and
good
she had a whole husband.
You better take notes from these type of chicks because they doing something.
She had 4
This
baby
dude
daddies.
ain't got no kids, and he signed up like he Robbie 3 times. Whatever, man. Good luck,
at the same time, too, Robbie times 3, I feel like the man knows that she's got money because she got a nice hefty check after, the divorce. So he's probably like, yo, I'm going to hang on to you for dear life. We're going to get you pregnant, and I'm going to stay here.
This is why women need to.
And I guarantee.
She should be smarter than this. She should be able to say, at her age, with children that are old enough to drive, she should be able to say, you know what? The next relationship I go into, I've got to make sure the intent is right. I got to make sure things are good. She's not going through a process.
That's why I'm saying I guarantee them kids got that "you ain't my daddy" energy.
Oh snap! Yes, all of that. Yes,
I guarantee it. You ain't my daddy.
Yeah.
They don't know who their daddy is. There's so many dudes coming and going around there, man. They don't know what's up.
Because just a few months
Father's Day is
before,
confusing
they had
around
another
that.
dad.
Father's Day is
Just the other day, they had another dad. Repeat that one, girl.
Just a few months, as in just a few weeks ago, they had another. They had a whole other dad.
A whole other
Can't make
dad.
this stuff up,
Other
man.
father.
And he was a hella rich dad.
And now they have another dad.
And
Now they got some broke
he's
dad.
getting,
He's rough. What kind of?
he's getting congratulations.
That
He should be getting hate mail.
that was my thing, and this is why I was like, women need to keep it real with other women. That was not a congratulations. I get the whole baby and babies are a blessing or whatever, right? Like I get all that, but girl, can you give your pum pum a break? Your pum pum need a breather.
Save some baby daddies for the other ladies. Like Halloween coming up, he would take all the candy.
Right?
And I almost want to leave it on that where Garcia said just a few months ago, these 3 children had another father that they lived with, who was providing for them, who was giving them a good life. Yes. She didn't move out of that house that they own. I think was like May when they finally like sold it or something. So you now had May, pregnant in August, engaged in October, and he's talking about this young man talking about I'm now going to be a father to these 3 children. And by the way, she's 32.
Oh.
She turned 32 in May.
Father's Day is like
everywhere, girl. Girl, she is.
10 to 12, your daddy coming. From 12 to 2, your daddy coming. From 2 to 4, your daddy coming. And Jalen is there all day long.
Naturally,
So
Sarah said it best.
confused.
She said, just slinging it everywhere. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
For
We
real.
gonna leave that one there. Let's talk about people slinging it everywhere.
Y'all leave him alone.
I'm gonna have to go there.
Y'all leave him alone.
We thought that a 32-year-old woman with 4 kids and 4 baby daddies bad. Well, NBA YoungBoy is going
Oh,
for a record. This young man recently turned 22 on Wednesday, and he welcomed his 8th child, I believe, with the 7th woman in September. He had 4 children who were born within months of each other. I believe it was June 2020, November 2020, January 2021, and now September. So within about a calendar year,
Yeah.
he's had several babies.
Yep.
Now, one of his baby mamas is Yaya Mayweather.
Yeah,
You
who's
guys should recognize the name because Floyd Mayweather
Pretty boy
is
Floyd.
her daddy.
Making
Her-
money,
her-
Mayweather.
Billionaire.
Floyd
man.
Mayweather,
And she acting like that.
Floyd Mayweather, okay, Floyd Mayweather apparently is worth about 1.2 billion. NBA YoungBoy is worth about 6 million. Not even close to each other. Yaya could have any man she wants. She could probably get with the king or prince of Sudan, Dubai, or wherever. But she decided at 19 she wanted to get herself together with NBA YoungBoy and have his 7th baby.
Mhm.
Now, as a woman, I'm going to speak to mothers and I'm going to speak to fathers. I'm going to tell you this. I don't care how old my child is, okay? 19 is still a baby. And I don't care if you're not in my house.
Preach.
I remember when you used to want to make sure that your boyfriend presented his best self to your parents. I remember my first boyfriend at 16. Okay, I remember telling him to pull his pants up when he came to meet my mom because that was the thing. Making sure that he presented his best self.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, women and men are letting their children go out with people they've never met.
And they're not
How is
giving
that possible?
any
Why they live in your
feedback.
house? Why they in your house? Why they live in your house?
Listen,
It's a whole new world.
Yaya's father has been quoted saying, and this is Floyd Mayweather, boxer extraordinaire. If you want to see men go crazy, just say Mayweather is fighting anywhere and men are going to make it there. The man is a legend. And he said about his 19-year-old daughter
At that time.
that I trust that she knows what she's doing. I don't want to get in her business. That
She's not
disturbed
business.
me.
19.
And she was
She's not
19. 19 in the U.S. is
You
still a
can't even
child.
go to Vegas properly.
You-
She
You're
probably
not
ain't
allowed
doing no business in a minute, though. I'm just saying.
He just made a good point. He said he probably ain't been in her business in a minute.
Well, guys, I did some digging. And apparently Mayweather, he had the same kind of upbringing himself. His mom was a drug addict. His father only cared about his boxing, so he only picked him up to take him to the gym to train and then dropped him off at his
Doesn't know how to
grandmother's.
parent.
He doesn't know how to parent. So he
No,
grew
really?
up growing up his kids, unfortunately, the same way he grew up.
Right, not caring.
Well, Mayweather is NBA YoungBoy. She went and got with her daddy.
Yes.
Okay, he does have a whole bunch of kids out there.
That's it. That's
Like, I'm
exactly.
It's been going on in our community for forever. This ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to throw shade on they fam or nothing like that, but this is why, again, as a society, we got to get a grapple on who we looking at and what we looking at. Money don't cure dysfunction. The Mayweather's hella dysfunctional, been dysfunctional forever, but you got people chasing after him. NBA, like I said a while back, if Quasimodo from Disney, the Humpback of Notre Dame,
Yeah.
if he was a platinum selling artist, he'd have multiple baby mamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously ain't because he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, young boy, he's got some things about him. He's a talented guy.
I don't know any songs.
And he's obviously, like, yeah, I know his music, but he's doing the most. Because, again, once you get to a certain point, it's like, bro, you got to stop shooting the club up. You know what I'm saying? Because these kids, these girls are going to have these babies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at a certain point, you got to start taking your reproductive rights
That's
on
it.
yourself. And it's something, again, we talked about it. Men don't do it very well. You know what I'm saying? I remember
Nick Cannon?
Slim
Oh.
Thug, one of rapper Slim Thug.
yes.
He got a vasectomy. He was like, yo, it's just crazy. And he's like, I'm not gonna wear condoms, but I can't be doing what I'm doing.
Right.
That's it.
So something gotta give, bro.
So you just spoke to the men, and I'm going to speak to the lady because the name of the show is Dear Ladies. Dear Ladies, have enough respect for your womb
Really?
to recognize that a man at the age of 21 who has several baby mamas and babies that were born within months of each other probably isn't the man who's going to be your Prince Charming. And so I'm going to read this article where Yaya Mayweather, at now 20 years old, could face 20 years in prison because she, in her emotions, also didn't think about her young child that had just been born because she's fighting over community peen. He is community property. If a man had 2 babies prior to your baby within 6 months, that man is not yours. So now we're going to read. Yaya Mayweather faces 20 years in prison for alleged stabbing of young boy NBA's baby mama. Yaya Mayweather's rocky legal woes may have just gotten worse. The daughter of boxing heavyweight Floyd Mayweather could potentially face up to 20 years in prison for her alleged involvement in the stabbing of NBA young boy's baby mama, LaPatra Jacobs. The startling news surfaced back in April 2020 after Yaya and Jacobs got into a heated altercation involving young boy with whom Yaya also shares a child. The mother of one's pretrial hearing has reportedly been scheduled for February 2022, according to Neighborhood Talk. Yaya was hit with an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge following the incident. Jacobs has been mum regarding the court case, but earlier this year she took to social media to share a few videos of the injury she sustained during her alleged scuffle with Yaya. It's unclear as to whether she and young boy currently have any romantic involvement. Yaya, on the other hand, has been completely head over heels for the troubled rapper despite his track record of having multiple children with several other women. In January of this year, the celebrity spawn welcomed her first child, Kentrell Golden Jr. with the star. Shortly after, a social media video of Yaya professing her love for the rapper began making its round across the internet. Yaya claimed the two were going to get married and that they were still together amid both their controversial court cases. She's also defended young boy in a few posts on Insta using the free Contra hashtag. I'm not even going to the rest of this. This article was written October 21st, 2021. Okay? It's October 21st, 2021. He had a baby last month.
Right. Yep.
Baby girl.
Yeah.
How is this man yours? So you are now going to, ladies.
You made a whole new life.
Let me tell you.
You made a whole
young
baby.
boy could literally fill about 2 hours of this show. Because when you look at the track record of this young man shooting up clubs in Miami, like Rob mentioned earlier,
Girl.
and even his former girlfriends, he has one girlfriend that literally went online in 2018 and said that she was going to kill herself because of the relationship with him. And she was online screaming and crying, all of this stuff because of this young man.
And isn't this the one that also had herpes? Was this the girlfriend who said she had herpes because he saw herpes?
He also talked about how they both have herpes and put it in a song. So we can tell by his actions as to what kind of young man this is. And to be 21 years old and already have these kids, being worth $6 million, dude, and you're still shooting up clubs and getting arrested for drug trafficking and all of this stuff, it's like, and Yaya too, I also question, where is the self-love here? Because Yaya, she is basically a Paris Hilton.
Oh yeah.
She comes from a billionaire family. She could be like Steve Harvey's granddaughter.
Yeah, she met Lori Harvey.
She could be like Lori Harvey. She could go find a Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. But no, she went and found NBA
Yaya or Yo, whatever his name is.
So what is going on with the self-love piece?
There is none.
Let me just say, I just found out that NBA stands for Never Broke Again. Dude, you got
He has
8 kids.
8 kids.
You gonna be
And he's
broke.
only
You're
worth
broke.
$6 million. That's like a
Bro,
tip. Okay?
bro,
You're
you
broke.
got 8 kids at 22. You are going to be
He's
broke
already broke.
He's already
again.
broke. Him broke from
What
the
are we
day he had the
talking
first
about?
5 kids.
Uh,
He's broke.
Dear ladies, protect your womb. Dear mothers and fathers, your children's business is your business, whether we liked it or not, especially as mothers. We signed up for this thing called parenting. Despite me giving it a 3 stars, I still have to be a mother for the rest of my daughter's life. And her business is my business. And it is my job to usher her into this world and give her insight on the type of relationship that is healthy. And unfortunately, here's the problem. Kevin, and this is the last thing I'm going to say because we got to wrap up. Kevin Samuel said it best the other day. There was a 47-year-old woman on the show. She has a 21-year-old daughter, and she was out there talking about she needs to expand her options because she got to find a man. He said, your job, that's done. Your job now is to help your 21-year-old daughter navigate the world so she can find somebody who will be there for her. You know
That's
what the woman even said? He said, what happens if you don't find anybody? Well, my daughter will take care of me.
that's horrible.
Oh,
What?
that
horrible.
is.
And she was not the only woman to say
I
that.
think no, it's a lot to think like that, and that's how
If
they
I don't find a man, I'm going to raise. So now, again,
handicap your daughter. So
thank you.
You got a place to land.
It is tough out
That's
there.
a
I get it.
dangerous thing to
I am
say.
in that
Wow.
I'm in that age, but at the end
Wow.
of the day, our job is to ensure our children do not make the same mistakes that we do. I would not want my daughter to be in the world navigating it as a single mother, and therefore I've taught her certain lessons and given her certain values that I clearly didn't have myself, and I'm blessed that I have her. She is a blessing to me, but I would never want her to go through the things that I go through. So her business is very much my business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We,
Wow.
as women, we have to understand the importance of our roles as nurturers
wow.
and as giving guidance. The word is guidance. And we cannot sit back and be like, well, I don't want to be involved in their business. Listen, my sister, our older sister, she's in her 50s, everybody. And she took the time to introduce a man that she was beginning to date to my parents. She didn't have to do
She's well
that.
in her 50s.
And she's a hella grown.
Mm-hmm.
Hella grown, yet she understands the importance of getting that sort of, okay, we know who he is. Yeah, he seems fine. Sat down and broke bread with the man. Why? Because she understands the importance of involving that into the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have parents that are telling 19-year-old children that, well, you do what you want, it's your business?
Yeah, and beyond that, like I think Kim, like we're now, like we're in 2021. I guess this started around the 70s or so. Ladies, can y'all start helping men with this messaging of like that entire messaging of telling young girls you don't need a man was dumb and wrong and it needs to be fixed? I'm not going to teach my daughter she doesn't need a man. That's dumb.
That's dumb.
It's dumb.
It is.
And you're actually going against nature. You're going against, if you're a spiritual person, you're going against spirit. You're going against nature, actual physical science. You're just going against humanity at that point.
Wow.
One more point, because I said it was my last, but I'm going to add to that. And if you are the mother who's saying, yes, you need to find you a husband, make sure you've prepared your daughter to be a wife and know the type of things that she should be looking for in a husband. And a young man with multiple children or a young man out there in the street necessarily gang banging and whatever the heck is going on is probably not the man for her. And we may not like it, but we should be in our children's business. I will say that again. We are in their business. They don't get privacy. They don't get to make, they get to, no.
But you see how all these issues is related, though. You know, like
Yeah.
they all come into
Mm,
the reason he has these kids is not because he's a good guy. It's because he's paid. Let's keep it a buck.
Oh,
that's
And with
listen.
that-
Right
Facts.
there.
Facts.
Right there.
with that, we are going to wrap up and we are going to say our final words so people can continue on with their Saturday. Garcia.
Yes. So my last word on this is, look, women, every human being needs to go through a process to be ready to move on to the next chapter.
True.
As women, we need to be intentful. Just because a man rejects you doesn't mean you need to go to the lowest pits of hell and bring out the anger and energy from hell and throw it on him. That's not going to solve anything. That doesn't make you look good. It doesn't even make you feel good. Second, work on your inner child.
Girl.
Like all of these problems, it's all happening because we're not dealing with past traumas. We're not dealing with the issues.
That's it.
Your parents might have been bad parents or they weren't good, but that doesn't mean that you can't work on yourself. So as usual, therapy, hey, it's a good thing. Try it out.
Girl, all that therapy. You know, my takeaway is just respect. Like, come on, yo. Have some respect for yourself. If you respect yourself, then respect your womb. That's it. If you have lack of respect, then you're putting out something where people see, oh, I can just do whatever I want with you. Because you don't respect yourself, so I'll just do whatever and throw you to the curb. Just respect yourself, man. Come on. Have some respect.
My final word is, dear ladies, be better. Hashtag be better. We have to be better. The future generation of young men and young women, and we're speaking specifically to the Black community, depend on us to be better. And right now, some of the stuff that we're putting out is trash.
Pure trash.
Protect your energy. Like, that's one of the things I'm biggest on these days. I remember having a conversation yesterday about it. I don't like your energy. It's not rubbing me the right way. I'm getting away from it.
Yep.
Quick.
That's it.
Like, and I think if people just kind of moved in that space, like all of these stories are people giving up their better character, their better nature to feed into negative energy to try to get a reaction or get a feeling or hurt or whatever. Like, stop giving people that much power. That's exactly what you do when you do that stuff, is you give other people your power. Because Dre living his life and be a young boy, he's got a million other things to be worried about besides Yaya. And like, the world is not going to stop spinning, but then you do something stupid like this, and you the one that's going to deal with it.
Hey,
All of that. All of that. So before we go, Telly's got some words for us, and the ladies are going to play out some music so we can rock it out.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. A huge thank you to Radio Regent. Listen to our show. It's on our podcast with Radio Regent, in syndication with iHeartRadio. We have a Facebook group under the name Not Your Typical Girl Talk. Do join us there and to continue the conversation. Follow us right here on Instagram under the same handle, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. And we got a YouTube channel. We want to get those numbers up. So find us on YouTube under the name Not Your Typical Girl Talk. She is Persia. I am Telly. We got Queen Sheba. We got Robbie. Listen, y'all. Oh, and also, I know that people, we were saying about 60%. You can give the four of us your 60%. Because we'll take any money and donations you want to give to us to continue our creative brilliance. We know, we're the juice, we're the tea. Listen, everyone knows by now that our shows, our creativities, are the future. Maybe on Netflix.
We should set up a cash app.
We should set up a cash app.
We should.
A Venmo. Listen, anything you want to send to us, you want to wire us some money, we'll take it. We'll take tips. We'll take it. This juice that we're giving to you, the knowledge we're giving, we're giving it for free. Listen, there's going to be a time where you're going to wish we were doing this for free still. So you know what I'm saying. But anywho, till next Saturday, y'all. Peace.
Hey.